Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I do hope you're having a great day today. I apologize in advance if this video has a little less energy than usual. I'm trying to put on a face for you right now, but I'm sure that's going to go away. I'm pretty sick, but I need to get this done, and this is one of the days that I pay to have my daughter watched by somebody, so I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to do the best I can for you. I told you today we were going to do the scrapyard, and I think there are other things that are more important than this, and we're certainly going to do those more important things, but since I said I would do it, we're finally going to show you the design for the scrapyard today, and that's going to be most of the focus of this video. The excavator that was on its way is coming on over here, and we're replacing these houses, right, so we can put better quality ones. All the demolition offices have been told to take out these little tiny roadways and stuff, so they're going to be working on that as we go. And we're trying really hard to get this stuff done. I'm hoping by the end of this video, my technical service offices and stuff for here and there will be done. At least I hope anyway, because I really need to have, just make sure bricks is over here. I think it's this one. Yeah. I want reconstruction projects to keep going too. I think they had the wrong source of bricks, so I'm hoping to see these guys spring to life. There we go. To get reconstruction projects going too while we're at it. Okay, so scrap, right? We're gonna do steel right after this. And then I also want to expand my fields, but we probably won't be doing much. Maybe I can spend the winter building the actual farm, because the fields are instantly placed. So maybe the winter we'll build that. So first thing we want to talk about is the rail, because the rail is the least flexible part of this entire arrangement, right? It's trains. You have to follow rules with trains, okay? And we also need to get rid of a lot of these roads. They are not needed, so we're just going to pull this road out of here. I'm going to get rid of this. Probably going to need to step this road back just a tad, probably. We'll wait until we have to, but I think we'll probably have to. This line right here is sort of a close proximity representation of how far away this stuff needs to be from people so that I don't get pollution, because even though the buildings that we're going to place in here collectively don't put a lot of pollution in, I'm sorry, individually don't put a lot of pollution in, collectively they will generate quite a bit, especially if we start having lots of stuff sitting around in storage, because storage also is, well, storage generates pollution as well. Actually, I might be able to see that. Do we have any construction waste? There is a bunch of construction waste. If I pause this and take a look at pollution, there's a little bit. I swear this was more red before. So perhaps it's not as bad as I thought it was. That's encouraging. Oh, another thing that's encouraging, right? Missing bricks and stuff. We need to start getting bricks brought here, because we're going to start doing, I think, a tunnel pretty quick here. But before we do that, let me go over to the border real quick. Check used vehicles. Yay! There's another one! I was waiting to get another one. I wanted another one. All right, so EDK... I have a lot of the cabins, right? The personal cabins or whatever for the lift. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the lift. The lift, okay? Looks like this refrigeration truck should really, could really use a trip to... My gosh, are you really delivering here instead of there? We should have been delivering... Oh, right, because you're set to keep it at a certain percentage, and if I put it there, then you'll put a lot more than I need. Well, as soon as you're done delivering that meat, good sir, you're going to have to come over here where you are definitely needing to get repaired. I'm going to bring you all the way over here, actually. Let's get you repaired. You are crazy. And then the EDK 300, say change office workspace there. Okay, so we want to get a lot of work done on the rails. And I'm actually going to turn the rail construction on and let it build, I think, all the way out. Just let it go, man. Yeah. So auto search everything and just go to town on everything, okay? But I do want this to be done as a high priority, so hopefully they get on that first. Maybe I'll have to might have to actually select it, because it doesn't look like it's highlighting despite the fact that they're on auto search. So it wasn't actually on the list, but there it is. It's on the list now. Okay, so let's finally get back over here. I'm not stalling. I'm just waiting for vehicles to clear, because there's a lot of vehicles running around. And with vehicles running around, it's going to tell me I can't, get rid of this stuff. And I really want to get rid of this stuff. So Unsure what you're doing. You're lost. That's what you're doing. Get out of here. Okay. So we're going to take this road out of here. Goodbye. And this road out of here and this road out of here. Let's redraw this just to keep it active. And we want to redraw this. And I'm going to go as tightly as I can. Get it right around. So something like that for now. All right. That's going to keep that online. The rail is, like I said, it's very inflexible. So we're going to want to take this and we're going to go straight across from here. All right. So we're going to say this goes over. Now, I've had lots of comments related to people wanting, I don't want to say help, but people wanting me to cover rail a little bit more, right? Make sure I go into depth. So every time I do something with the tracks, I'm going to try my best to kind of cover it as to why I'm doing it so you guys can sort of understand the process, okay? But there's going to be stuff you don't understand, and you'll start to get it once it works, but just keep in mind that all rails that we're building are one way, okay? That's the trick. They're one direction. They're not two-way tracks. And so even though this intersection seems really janky, there is an order to this, I promise, okay? I'm just saying, there is. There is an order to this madness. And it's going to get even more madness in a second. Okay. Last thing I wanted to cover real quick before we get started. I'm taking a big hit this month. You'll notice the money's been dropping, maybe. I don't know. And that's because even though we are completely debt-free and we've got a lot of money here, I also have a pretty good amount of fuel that I can go in and tell them to go ahead and sell. It is because I am buying electronics. I have been bringing in a lot of crops and a lot of electronics this year. And this is why I say we really need to get going on more crops for the farm and stuff, okay? We have a good amount of food production happening, and I'm hoping that this train will come by and, pick up the pace on that a little bit more. As more people can come through this cable car, we should be able to get more people in that food factory. Okay, I think we're finally ready to go now. Let's talk about the waste trucks. Right now, waste trucks, they take garbage all over the place, right? They have many different ending points. And eventually what we want to have happen is that the destination for almost everything, aside from biological waste, we're going to keep that here, but aside from that, the destination is here. Every single piece of waste or scrap eventually goes right here, and then it gets distributed wherever it's going to be useful, okay? To make money in waste, we are going to import hazardous waste, because at the moment, we export hazardous waste. And exporting hazardous waste, although it isn't really costing us much, it is still a cost instead of income, okay? Apparently, I haven't sold any fuel this month. Great. So what we want to do is we want to go in and lay in our first building in this area, and that is the waste treatment plant. All right, and the waste treatment plant is going to go right here. We're going to use the existing warehouse, and we're going to bring this, I think right about here is good for this. I think right about there is where I want this. All right. Now, to bring the hazardous waste in, we could just say the trucks bring it directly to this building, but there's a chance maybe we have a route and we want to bring it in higher capacity. We're also going to be bringing it in not just from the border for pay, but we're also going to be getting it from the hospital and the fabric, and also from everywhere else in our republic, okay? This area, what I'm hoping to build here is an area that takes no trucks to move stuff around from beginning to end, and it can handle many different cities, like 50,000 population plus, okay? That's what I want this to be able to handle as far as waste output goes, waste throughput. So basically, I want to increase, in this area right here, my ability to process waste by like 5x, all right? So let's try that. First thing we need to do is we need to get the place where we're going to dump it. And rather than dumping it directly in this building, we're going to dump it in this. This is just a regular old dump, and we're going to dump it here. So we're going to say, hey, you guys come on over here, and you dump the waste. All right, right there. There you go. And this hooks up to the road here. Now, there's going to be a lot of, conveyor belt spaghetti here, but there's an organization to this madness, and I'm hoping that you'll see it. So this is going to be a one-way path, okay? It's important that it's one way because it's going to be mixed waste coming in. It's hazardous. It gets processed, and then we don't want it to come back. because that just makes it hazardous again. Anytime you mix anything with hazardous waste, guess what? That's hazardous now. We don't want that. So this is going to be a one-way track. And it's going to be represented by just hovering over top of it and seeing the one-way. Then we need an output. When this building outputs waste that it processes, it will output as mixed waste. Here's the cargo train station I just connected to. And this is also going to be a place where trains can bring mixed waste. So naturally, we're going to have a big mixed waste storage. We're going to use the one with rails here. Notice the bug is fixed now. Thank you, devs. It now takes concrete, gravel, and asphalt. So no more cheating. And what we want to do here with this is we're going to want to make it to where trucks can bring it in, as well as, and I think they might even be able to just dump it at the train station. I don't think we're necessarily going to need the road, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to do it. And what we want to do is put this kind of about maybe here. I don't know if this is exact or not, but we'll see. Can you wrap here? Cannot. You're just a little bit too long. Oh, there it goes. Scroll wheel, baby. There it is. Okay, so we're going to get that, and then this is a track out this way. Cool. So now mixed waste ends up here, as well as from the train here. Once mixed waste is here, we want to efficiently process that mixed waste. We have a few more efficient processing centers. We have the scrap separation, which is really efficient at taking metal scrap, and we have the aluminum separator, which is really efficient at taking aluminum scrap. Unfortunately, there is nothing for plastic. So plastic is going to be handled by the general separator, which means I need to put this at the end of the chain. So the first building that's going to take stuff out of this is going to be my scrap separator, all right? For metal, the metal scrap separator. And you see how there's a aggregate out right here, right? So we need to make sure that we are prepared for that. And I'm thinking we are going to put this, let's put it, yeah, you know, this could be okay. I mean, the road can come around this way. I think that's probably fine. Let's say right about here would be okay. All right, now as long as this road goes where it hopefully goes right around that. Very good. Okay, that means this road is going to let us out, and that's exactly what we want. All right, perfect. All right, next, after scrap separation, all right, I'm mostly walking you through this. I did say that I might have time-lapsed this, but I think this is a new system, and I should walk through it with everybody, especially if I'm going to make a mistake, and I want you guys to be able to test it out and see, too. We are getting low on coal. That's peculiar. I want to be notified when this one is empty, but we're getting low enough on coal where I've already done it. Okay, good. I was looking at it earlier. I think I forgot that I'd done it. So I've reduced our exports to 60%. I'm hoping that helps with the coal problem, because at the moment, I think we're having a hard time getting here. Well, at least I thought we were, but holy crap, no, we're not. We should have a lot of coal ore. What are you guys doing? You should be cranking on this. I don't think you guys even understand what you're doing. We'll check back on that a little bit. All right, so, right, new system. Scrap separator. At this point, it's all the mixed waste, but it's not hazardous. Then it comes through here, and now it's all the mixed waste that's not hazardous, and also no metal. So from this point, we want another dump. We're going to take a dump. We're going to take a dump. We're going to leave a dump right next to, I love it, right next to, little Freudian slip there, and put it right here. We're going to have a dump between all these different buildings. So there's extra storage output, right? There's extra places for this stuff to go. Okay, so from here we need aluminum, all right? Aluminium right here, separation. And this building is shaped a little funny. I don't particularly like how it's shaped, but it is. It's shaped the way it's shaped. We're going to roll with it. I'm going to put you here. All right. So from here, at this point, we're going to output more waste, and that waste has no metal and no aluminum in it. We've separated that stuff already as efficiently as possible. Now, I want to get this connected, but I also don't want to block this thing here. So I think if I put this really close, I might be able to get away with this. Let's put it here. And then as long as I can get you over top of that, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll work. Okay. Next is the general separator. Now, the general separator is a little bit more complicated because it has many different products that it's going to need to output, and we need a place for that stuff to go. So this is, again, scrap scrap that's minus metal and aluminum, that means there's going to be plastic in here too, right? So general separation, we're going to have to deal with construction waste, plastic, and just the other general mixed waste that we can't move out of here. So we're going to want to place you. I think it's probably best to put it. Can I maybe put this? Yeah, I'm going to need to move that storage a little bit closer, I think. That's going to be really far away. I don't know about that. I'm nervous about that one. We'll let that go from there. And keep in mind also, workers have to get to all these locations. So I need to leave enough space in here to get walking paths and make sure people can move in here. I am going to be using underground walkways and tunnels and all that stuff as much as I have to. But if I need to reposition a building or two, like this one moving out or something, then I will do that. Okay, 3 things this thing's going to output. Construction waste, that's aggregate. It's going to go that way, right? Yep, probably that way. Then we have plastic waste. We're actually going to use the plastic waste. So we're going to say that we want the open storage. And again, it's important to get road connections on all of these things. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, it has road connections too. So I'm thinking probably like this could be cool, but I can't get the road to connect there. Maybe this will be okay. The ideal here is that this is going to hold plastic waste, and we want it to connect to here because trains around the Republic need to be able to bring plastic waste that's sorted to this facility as well. So plastic waste can be delivered here as well as regular waste, and it will go into this storage. We then are going to process the plastic waste into this plastic recycling plant. Plastic recycling plant comes over and let's say probably we don't need it to connect to the cargo. Thinking probably this way is the best way. And we need to keep that spot open. So I'm going to say probably something like this would work. So long as we get this to hook up. It does work. Okay, good. So that's where we want to go there. So at this point, the plastic has come here, plastic waste, and we now have plastic. That plastic needs to be output somewhere. We're going to use a very large warehouse because I have several different things that I would like to include in this warehouse. And we're going to make it come out as far as we can because I want it to be closer to the scrapyard, which we're about to place in a second. So let's get this to be about, I think here would be okay. All right, so this is going to allow us to access the storage from the cargo train, but it's also going to let this put plastic in, which means we can put the plastic in here and pick it up with the train and get it out of here. Perfect. Exactly what we want. We can go through these and make them all like the one-way storages and things if we need to. So just kind of keeping that, keeping the train running here. There we go. And right through there, just so I don't forget. Yeah, everything just follows a linear path. Okay. So that takes care of plastic, done. But we have construction waste and we have the other waste too. For the quote-unquote other waste, we're looking at another dump. And we're probably going to need a rather large, I would think we're going to need a rather large dump here. I'm tempted to use one of the ones with the claw only because of the extension in the waste amount that it can hold. But I am a little bit worried about the fact that there's no way to get the road out of here. That's a little worrying to me. But it's expanded upon in terms of what it's capable of holding. And I want to be able to hold more. Another task I suppose we could maybe do is, yeah, we need to probably use bridges to get out of here. So this is 270 tons of waste and very cheap to build. This is 350 tons and very expensive to build. So, yeah, I don't want to use the dump with the claw machine either, although that technically does fit here. I don't think I really want to do that. So I'm going to play it probably a little bit, maybe a little bit dumb here. I'm going to play a little dumb here, but I'm going to put a dump right here. Just a regular old dump right here. And then what we're going to need for this is a bridge that takes it over top of this so that it can get out of here. Okay. So we now have a place for the dump to go as long as we can get the bridge over here, and that's fine. Maybe even an underground tunnel to get it out of here. Who knows? I mean, I could put a tunnel exit like right here and just have everybody come into here and go through. It would work, I think. So it's something we can think about later. The train tracks are going to now wrap around this. So we're using these 3 tracks for now. We have expansion to 4th, and these 2 tracks are going to wrap around, wrap all the way around. Let's probably go out just a little bit more, actually. It looks like we're a little bit high here. Yeah, just a little bit. Let me lower this just a tad. Bring this land down just a smidge. And it's a little hard to do that in this area, but all I really need to do is just clear a path for the rail. So about like that, and then do a terrain smoothing to just make it a more natural grade. And that should be good enough to just make it not look super weird. At least I'm hoping anyway. All right, so we're going to take this and bring it out. That's much cleaner than it was. Okay. Bring that out there. It's a little bit crooked, though. Got to make it straight. So let's go ahead and make it straight like this. This should be good enough. And then we want this to wrap around this waste plant. So we're going to come all the way over, and we're going to hook it up, I think, right about like this. Right up against this, yeah, right up against this warehouse. We'll go about like this with it. Okay. And wrap you around too. Same thing. All the way out to here. All right? Go ahead and get rid of this. So this wraps all the way around. We're going to be working with the aggregate and some other, really just as aggregate. Yeah, we're going to have aggregate stations and stuff over here. And again, the tracks are one direction. So we're going to be able to determine where the distribution office comes in and where dedicated trains that are going to be responsible for taking construction waste out. We'll talk about that in a second. Or maybe probably a couple of minutes because we're taking a bit here. And again, like if this is too slow for you, you don't want the whole walkthrough, there is always the, scroll like 2x speed YouTube or whatever. I don't ever advocate that because it directly harms video discovery when you do that. But if I would rather you watch the way you want to watch than not watch at all. So if that's your thing, have at it, I guess. I'm not going to cater to it, but I can't stop you. So you'll just do it whatever you want. I'm going to get this to come down from... actually, you know what? I want this rail to come out too. Let's maybe make these little stubs for rails here just so it's out of the way. And then I can put a proper road in here. Maybe a gravel road, actually. You can go right across here like this. That's pretty good. We'll put a gravel road there with the train track plans already in place. I won't have to worry about it being too close. Okay, cool. So we've dumped off everything that is not metal, not aluminum, not plastic, right? So construction waste is the last thing because this is all the burnable stuff. And actually the burnable stuff, you know what we should do with this? The burnable stuff really should be connected to this, right? I think that's my mistake at the moment. We're always going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes at some point. I think that's what we got here. This is going to be right about like this, I think, instead. Now, hopefully that is still able to get a bridge through here. I think so. From this point here, and then I can go up. Oh yeah, easy. I definitely have a bridge possible through here if I go up 3 more. I have to go up the whole 3 steps, but I can do it, I think. Yeah, it can get out. Yep. It won't be pretty, but it can get out, and that's all that matters. Okay, so from here we need construction waste. We also need the aluminum scrap, and we also need the metal scrap. So let's talk about aggregate storages next. No. We're going to skip ahead just a little bit because we need some space. Over here on this side, we are going to have the big scrapyard, all right? And the big scrapyard is going to be positioned about here, I think. It needs to be far enough down to where we can get that warehouse. Right about there. So about there, I think, is where that's going to be, all right? So there's our scrapyard. Now, this is going to allow us to bring in trains, train cars, the rail builder, the tunnel boring machine, anything on the rail, including other vehicles. We can get, if we get really good, deals on used trucks and stuff, we can bring those in on a rail, on a train, and drop them off right here in the scrapyard to begin scrapping them. That's great. The scrap that comes from these, it's going to be a variety of different things. Might get aluminum scrap, might get metal scrap for like steel and stuff. We might get mechanical components, electrical components, all that stuff. And all that stuff goes in the warehouse, while the rest of it is going to go in the storages that we're going to make. So what we really need from this is 3 storages. We need 3 aggregate storages. And we also need a lot of room because we have other things we need to put here, like bus stops and water and sewer and all those other types of things, right? and power hookups. So let's talk about aggregate storages. I'm going to use the 2,000 ton storages for this side. I think I'm going to switch it to where the road is on this side. And what I want to do for this is I want to have, there's going to be 3 of them. They're going to be different sizes as well. So we're probably going to get a pretty good amount of metal scrap, I would think. So I'm going to place that one about, let's say, here. Next, we're going to get quite a lot of construction waste, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to place that on an angle about, let's say, like this should be okay. And then finally, we're going to have aluminum scrap. Now, I don't anticipate getting a lot of aluminum scrap, so I'm going to go just a little bit lighter on the aluminum scrap. And I think I want to get the road to be on this side, if I can. Yep. And we'll go ahead and put this one right about, let's say, here. Right about here. Okay. 3 aggregate storages are laid out in a row, all right? 3 little ducks right here. We got Mama, Papa Bear, and then Baby Bear right here, and they all need to be hooked up to our conveyor connections. This is the difficult part, getting the stuff connected to the conveyor connections. Because it's kind of a, I don't want to say it's a puzzle, because I've dropped the puzzle theme from my channel. If you notice that, I had somebody say they missed the old intro. I think I might go ahead and put the old intro on this video, just to throw people off. You're welcome. If you're wondering why the intro was different, there you go. That's why. Somebody said they missed it. I think I might go ahead and do a cut here just to sort this out because there's going to be a lot of repositioning here. We have a lot of roads and stuff we have to move through, right? All these roads need to be moving through, and then we've got, you know, conveyor engines that need to be routed through here. This one is construction waste. It's going to this pile. We also have the aluminum is going to go to this pile, and then we have the metal is going into this one here. So I think the metal is pretty easy, but in order to get these all to play nice with each other, we have to play at different elevations, and not necessarily being sure which elevation is which is gonna get me trouble here, I think. So let me just real quick dink around with the conveyors and stuff. Okay, so I know it doesn't seem like it's very complicated, but that actually took a little bit of time. We got some conveyor belt spaghetti. Goes from the metal up to this one. We got the aluminum, which hits this elevator and then goes straight across to this one. And then we've got the general separator, which takes this elevator to this storage for the construction waste. And then everything is connected with the road network via these wonderful dirt roads, which will eventually be made. I think we're probably going to make all these gravel. I don't think there's a reason to make them asphalt necessarily. So, but we're just going to have them come all the way through like this. And as long as all of these connections work, I'm worried about this one. And for good reason too. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I might have to move this a little bit. I can move this thing. I don't need to move the belts. The belts are way more challenging. So sometimes if you make the road first, though, you can get away with it. It's not often, but sometimes you can get away with it. In this case, I can't get away with it. So we will remove this building, and then we're going to go over to the aluminum separator again. There we go. And just kind of move it out a little bit. Maybe angle it like this. Just enough to where we can get this belt conveyor to connect here. It doesn't look like that's going to let me. Maybe if I do it first. New angles. Maybe it'll let me. Pretty close. Oh, we just go here. Perfect. There it is. Done. Okay. So everything is now connected to the road network, which means construction can begin on almost everything. This isn't, but that's okay. We're going to have this come down right next to the storage, and it'll come right down through here, and then we now have our little loop that'll be made for buses and things like that. So, scrapping is pretty cool. We're going to be able to hook up to aluminum storage and metal storage. We're going to try something that the comment section has told me. They said, the infamous they have said that I can take one of these and do something like this. And then that will allow me to output to two different resources, two different places, from the same conveyor. Basically, the building will just export one at a time, putting it in the right space. We're going to give that a shot. One thing I also need to give a shot, though, is making sure that this can go across here. And at the moment, it cannot, and it really needs to. So I will also need to tweak the placement of this and maybe even tweak the placement of this building a little bit. But I need to be careful of tweaking it because there's actually something else we're going to do here. All right. Now, in addition to the rail doing its thing, which is, you know, coming from this side and then coming over to this side. We'll talk about the intersection in a second. In addition to that, this building, when you place it, has a little hidden surprise. You might notice that it's not very clear from the hover, from the placer here, but the little green dots around the outside are usually there for terrain. But in this case, there's also a little bit of a hidden message for this thing, because if you go over to the helicopters, the heliport, you're going to notice that on one side of this thing, there are green dots. And just like the fire department and the hospital, if I put a helicopter pad by it, well, shoot dang, it highlights green. And that means that we can also handle helicopters in this location, which I find to be pretty dang cool. All right, I'm always up for making some amendments to helicopters. All right, and by amendments I mean tearing them apart. So I'm gonna put this beautiful strip, helipad strip here, right about here, and I just gotta hope, cross my fingers, and hope that this goes across the tracks. And indeed it does. Very good. All right, so that'll take care of that. So that's a helipad attached to our scrapyard. Pretty cool. Now, I don't think I could afford to go much closer here, so we got to make this work. So before we attach this to these two, let's get our final buildings in place. We get our metal scrap, we get our aluminum scrap, we need to turn them into things that are useful and profitable. So, incoming, steel recycling plant and the aluminum recycling plant. Now, these two buildings have different shapes. They're not made the same way. There's two factory connections and an input. Of course, I have to face the input towards the source that is, being served there. And I also need to make sure that the factory connections can, hook up to storage and that the road can get out. So there's a lot of things I have to make sure of in this little area here. So what I want to do is I think I'm going to place this right here. We're going to see if I can get away with that. And then the aluminum recycling plant, we're going to place this a little bit further away. And we need to do so that it hooks up to the top one here, because I need height. I need this to stay high. So I'm going to say probably right about here would be a good idea, except I want it to come from this one. There. Now I need the elevation so that this road can go underneath the belt. And there it is. It can go underneath the belt. The prettiest road I've ever seen, but it is a road, nevertheless. There we go. Train, I think you're bringing enough crops. I think, anyway, maybe. Let's just double check this really quick. Got a lot of crops here, got a lot of crops here. Yeah, I think we're good on that, sir. Okay, so how about we maybe cool it a little bit on the crop buy. Let's go down to 50%. All right, and then I think I'll be okay with you loading food here. Maybe we'll go to 15% on the food load here, because we should be doing pretty well on creating food. I don't want to hear any excuses, food factory. Chop, chop. All right, no excuses. We got students. We're going to school. All right, we want to have a little bit of loyalty here. Whoa, that's not what we want. We're getting down to 31% seems fair. Over here, they're not getting taught because I have the government loyalty set at 60% and nobody's 60%, so nobody can be taught. So I'm going to bring this down now 30%, and we should see teachers flood in here, and students should finally get themselves learned. So hopefully that happens. We need clothes brought here, meat brought here. They can come here, right? They can make it here. They're not going to be desperate for anything. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and lock those in for now, and maybe not the rail. I think I'm going to probably redesign that. Let's just delete that for now. All right, so with these two buildings in place, and they're both receiving, at least they should be. Excuse me. You're not receiving the goods. Why are you not receiving the goods? So the hope here is that I can get above this one, because this is low. I hope I can get above this one, and then, ooh, maybe not. Maybe we don't go above, or maybe we don't go below. Maybe we go above. Can we go? Ooh. Yeah, maybe we stay up high and we go low with the other two, because the ends are. All right, hang on. Let's make a small adjustment here to this. This is the kind of stuff you got to do. You got to tweak it. All right, everything requires some tweaking in this game. Sometimes, almost all the time. So I think I'm gonna maybe bring you here instead. Let's say about like this. And then my hope is, pretty please, can you attach, whoops. Can you attach from the big one? Yes. Now, can we get the little one underneath? Or maybe out like this. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Right about there. I think we'll probably be pretty good. So that gets me all the belts crissy-crossed, right? So this goes underneath. It does look like there's a little bit of clipping here, but the game let me do it, so I should let it go? I don't know. You know, I mean, I could always bring this down a little bit too. I think this is the high version of it, so if I brought this down, I think maybe it would fit. If I went kind of the lower version of this. Yeah, like this is the high version. If I actually bring it up, that might be the solution actually. Bringing it higher, then it doesn't clip. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go higher with this. Even though it costs a little more, I don't like clipping. I'm kind of anti-clipping, all right? I don't know about all of you, but just because the game says I can do it, it doesn't mean it's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and everything should just match up, you know, pending this thing matching up too, which I think I can probably do this with the storage. So we're gonna have a big open storage. The big open storage does have a rail portion here, and we are going to use that rail, but you're going to notice, I think this is going to be a really difficult connection because of where the stuff is, like how it's located, how it's positioned is quite challenging to connect with. I'm probably going to have to reposition the aluminum. I think that's going to have to be, that's a given, I think. So we're going to put you right here and cross our fingers and hope that this works. It does not. No, it does not. Okay. So we're going to have to reposition things just a little bit still. But hey, that's the name of the game, right? Okay. So again, not that hard. Just tiny little adjustments to positions, and we make the world go around, right? Just a real quick check on making sure that the road can go underneath, and actually goes up underneath much more comfortably now. So take that, game. I win. And we want this road to, I think, just kind of come over. Yeah, we'll just take this road and bring it straight this way. Take this road and bring it down to meet that one, and then take this one out and over to meet that one. So they're all connected again. Everything's connected to the road network again. Okay. So that takes care of most of our scrapyard. But there's one more element. We're bringing construction waste over here. Well, where's it going to go after that? I don't want to process gravel here because the end place for gravel is over here. I want the gravel to go here. I want to process less quarried stone if I can get away with it. I'd rather do like 6 workers in this all the time, 5, maybe even none if I don't need. If I'm using a lot of gravel, then fine. But I don't want to use this, all right? And so I've got an idea, and I think I want to send the construction waste to this little guy right here. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How the heck are you going to get an aggregate unloader right here? It's a very good question. I have a very good answer. I'm going to eliminate this road. And this is just the track for the track builders. So they come in and out. They despawn when they get in the way. There's really not a whole lot of consequence to this. And the cool thing about this, I think, is that this is a very low traffic area. I know it seems like it's high traffic because the track builders are here, but they leave, and they leave for long periods of time, and then again, they despawn whenever they get in the way. So they're not going to be a nuisance and get tied up forever, right? So going in here, I think we can get a little aggregate unloader. If I can find where that is, train aggregate unloader, and this is the really small one, right? Yeah, the 30. Super tiny little station right here. Okay, and I think that if I can get this train or this rail connection thing, probably going to do it. I don't want to get in the way of the road, so yeah, I guess we will do it like this so I don't get in the way of the road. So we're going to say that this station, whatever, is located maybe right here. If we put the unloader here, a train can come in here and unload construction waste and then hightail it out of here. And for distance-wise, from here to here, what I had to do, we got ourselves a genuine 155 plus meter rail connection, which means it's not going to interfere with all the train tracks, right? It's not going to interfere with everything, the junctions. So while it's in here, unloading, wait till unloaded, right? All that stuff, it's not in the way of anything. And that is great. I think that's awesome. So I'm going to make this a wooden track. There's no reason to overspend on it. And the only thing I have to worry about here is how to get curved into this direction. I don't want to do that. I don't want this to have this big, long, elaborate thing, right? I want this to be a really small segment. So we're going to kind of take a little ziggity zag, and we're going to go like that with it instead, all right? This gets us a little bit longer segment too, but it also allows us to get back on the track and go this way. From this track then, we're just going to go like so. Well, at least I thought we were going to go like so. Yeah, like so. All right. There you go. And you might think, oh, we're going to treat this whole thing as one big intersection, right? Maybe. We can. Maybe. No, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. At the moment, though, I would like to get this to go back into the train depot like that, all right? So that is going to be some new train tracks that amend the current place, and we're going to get in there and be able to drop this off. And I believe this is a fairly straightforward drop because we just take it from over here. I think we can go over top this road. Should be able to go over top this road. If nothing else, I should be able to go like this. That would be awesome, actually. Can I just do that? Ooh, come on. Don't make me come back there. Oh, look at that. It's kind of cute. it's a little teeny tiny little thing. It's like 10 tons of steel each one too. Little expensive little shits too. So let's go ahead and just, do we want to go this way? We hook up to this road. Yeah, let's just bring it back and hook up to this road here like that. And then this is going to come straight over like that. All right. Fair enough. So there we go. We got ourselves a connection point. I think everything's good there with that little wooden rail, piece of cake. We can electrify it later, but little rail is fine. I don't care. Okay, so the construction waste is going to get picked up by an aggregate loader. What I'm going to do is separate these tracks so that I can't do it completely because of just the way that everything is designed. But what I'd like to do is separate this stuff out so that we can have an aggregate unloading station. And I think I might use the small one again because why not? An aggregate unloading station that is going to allow us to unload metal scrap and aluminum scrap, because this may not be the only place we're scrapping things. This may not be the only place where we're going to get these materials. In fact, metal scrap is often found inside the bins throughout the city. So we need a way to bring that stuff directly to the storage, and to do so on a great distance potentially, because I don't want to have to set up my own scrapping solution in every single city. I want to be able to just say, hey, pop it in these storages, a train will come and pick it up tomorrow. Train loads it up, sends it over here, it gets processed over here. I think that's just the best solution. All right, I'm gonna go with that as the best solution. So that's what this is. There's an extra transfer engine here. And this extra transfer engine was supposed to be hooked up to both of these, but apparently that didn't happen. So let's go ahead and do that. And what we want from this is we want to see, I'm hoping anyway, we see you go across there. Oh, you're not going to do it, are you? Don't make me overspend. You're going to make me overspend, aren't you? I'm going to underspend just to spite you. We're going to say, yeah, about like this. Yeah, right there. And then we're going to, oh, there it is. Huh? Underspend. What up? Right here. I don't really think that's underspending. I think it's just a different... Let's turn the road on the other side, too. Might as well. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it about like this. That way it can go high. Yeah, I'm going to go high. All right, so now we get that connection all the way down from... Oh, man. Can we do it all the way from this? That really would be spiting it, wouldn't it? That would be like kick... Oh, come on. I bet if that... Yeah, if this road's out of the way, I bet we can do it. Just move this road out of the way. And then we're just going to say aggregate unloading right there. All right, so we're going to be an aggregate unloading track like that. That long-ass thing feeds this, which distributes to metal and aluminum scrap. So if we get aluminum scrap and metal scrap from anywhere else in the Republic and bring it here with a train, it's going to get dumped right here. And it's going to get dumped in from this side. So the train will come in from this side, and it will whip around and dump it off this way before continuing that direction. So it won't interfere with our construction train, our construction waste train, which is going to be more of a pick it up and then wait till loaded, wait till unloaded sort of thing. And that's going to be over here. So we're going to say it's going to be heading the opposite direction. So it won't interfere with distribution, because this is going to be a distribution network thing probably. If it's coming from intercity, I like to use the train distribution office for more of a regional usage instead of, you know, big usages. I like to do it more regionally. So basically this entire area that we've already built in, that would be managed by train distribution, and then things that go between cities, like all the way out there, for example, or across the river over there, or maybe on the other side of the map. Maybe if we start doing something over here, those trains are dedicated route trains. They don't leave unless they are totally full. They're very long. They stop and gather as much as they can before they head out of there, right? So in this case, a waste train is going to have a whole bunch of waste that it can hold. It is going to sit there and wait until it is completely full of all that town's junk, and it is going to bring it over here in massive bulk and dump it in our laps. That's the hope anyway, okay? And then it'll sit here and dump all that waste right here, or it will dump it over here because, who knows, it might have hopper cars and stuff that can do it too, or waste cars, or whatever the cargo wagons are for waste. Is there special wagons for waste? I thought there was. It's not just box cars, is it? No, there's got to be something else. ES. This is for plastic waste. No. So, there it is. There's metal scrap goes in here. Aluminum scrap goes in here. Okay, so this is, yeah, bulk cargo. Got it. So this is what we're looking for. These 10 meters long. They are really short, too, and they don't hold very much. Ugh. That's expensive. Might end up getting my own general sorter over there anyway. Okay. Looks like they've already started construction on this stuff. I'm not sure I need them to be honest. I'm not sure this is the most important thing for you to build at the moment, but hey, you know, it needs to be delivered anyway, so I'll let you do it for now. Train aggregate loading. So we do need a loading train, and we want the shortest station possible. Unfortunately, there is no station with one track. I wish there was. There is not. So we're going to just have to use DISA one, okay? And what I'm hoping to do is to get it about, let's say, here. I'm hoping you'll go to the top one. I need it up high so that the roads can get out. And you can see right there, that is already a problem. So, nope. Let's get aggregate. Hello. Loading. Flip it. The flippity flip. That'll take care of it. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want right there. And then it goes up the top one so that the road can go through here. So this road should be able to come all the way through here, hopefully. Oh, come on. That was my plan. You're going to mess with my plan? Only a jerk really messes with another guy's plans. Soviet jerks. I can't go through the storage, of course, so I guess we'll just do something weird like that. And then you hook up to that road there, and then you hook up to that road there. And you are there. Okay, that's it. That's all we really need to do or expect to do, right? So let's get the train tracks hooked up, right? We have these two train tracks, and they are going to wrap around like a disa. There is definitely some changes that need to be made to this road over here. We'll just dump these roads for now. We'll probably have this wrap around it a different way, but these train tracks are going to come around nice and wide, and I think that's probably good. Nice and wide all the way over like so. All right. Train tracks. Yes. All right. Now this one's going to go through here, and this one's going to go around here. Okay. Almost. Yeah, around like so. Okay. And then you are going to end up I didn't really want you to be angled this way, but I'll just take it the way it is. It's gonna go out like this, and then you end up over here, and I can move all these roads. That's why they're dirt. They're just temporary. But essentially, we are going to match up with a intersection right here that is going to closely match up with this intersection. So this intersection is, of course, a rail that connects there, and also this one, which goes around the storage. Hi, around the storage, please. F4. Please stop snapping. Don't snap. Bring it back. And you're going to go around the storage like so. And whew, man, I got to be honest with you guys. This is taking a lot of energy out of me. I think I'm only doing one video because, oh my God, faking it is hard. Okay, I'm just saying, faking feeling good is a difficult task. Okay, people say that this isn't a real job. Get a real job, you hippie. But I gotta tell you, for not being a real job, it's awful. It's an awful lot of work. I mean, whew. Yeah, I could just sit on my ass and, get better. I could totally do that. But, like, that's not going to be, I'm not going to get anything done if I do that. Come on. I gotta work for a living here. I don't make a lot of money. I gotta keep pumping out videos, or that's it, right? I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not about the money thing. I'm definitely not kidding about that. But I am kidding about the fact that I just feel like I have to work. I don't feel like I have to work. I genuinely feel like I can handle it today. And that's the only reason I'm doing it. If I didn't feel like I could handle it, then I wouldn't be doing it. All right, I want this to be kind of like this. I know it looks weird, but just roll with it, dude. So there is our intersection. Glory be to the intersection. Now, I did say that you don't want to have two intersections too close together. This is a one-way track anyway, so it's not going to matter that much. However, we could treat this whole thing as a single intersection, but I'm still not even nervous about that because eventually these are all electric trains. And so this whole thing is going to get scrapped later anyway. On a long-term basis, I don't care about this. Also on a long-term basis, I think maybe this should be marked to convert. Yeah, this right here. That's no big deal because they can go around it with the station here if they want to. So let's get the train tracks built over here too. Why not? Got plenty of steel. I don't know if I really should do boards here, right? If we're going to electrify the track later, right? I did say we're going to eventually electrify this track. So I feel like we should just spend. Because you can't make the wooden ones electrified, right? You should just do it, right? Not these. Not yet, because that's going to be expensive. I want to make sure that we need to be making our own electrical components before I electrify the track. Electrical components are incredibly expensive. Prices differ depending on the playthrough and depending on, your save game and stuff. Prices always differ. But in general, electrical components are going to be quite expensive relative to other things. And hello, you guys are confused, I see. Don't worry, allow me to clear that up for you. This is what we call a roundabout. Everyone goes the same direction. You all yield to the ones that are already in. Okay, that's not correct. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like that. Nope. Yep, I think that is what we're supposed to be. And then here, and then like so. If you're in the roundabout, you have the right of way until you leave the roundabout, all right? Let's go back to school. Teach the children how to drive their vehicles. Hopefully you figure it out. Now, if they already have pathing, like they're already destined for a certain pathing, they're going to complete it anyway. But any new paths, of course, will take the right direction on this roundabout. I really want this to be a dual road. I really regret that. I may end up tearing this. I mean, I'm going to tear this stuff down anyway. Not this, but I really wish this was... Maybe I can fit a single road in here. Like one of those narrow ones. If I get rid of this power pole, I bet I can fit one of those one-lane roads right through here. I really don't want to move a water pump. Water pumping stations are going to... All that stuff is expensive to replace. I'd rather not do that. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and submit the rails for construction. Now, some of you are going to notice an obvious flaw in the plan. Well, Charlie, what if there's someone picking up construction? And, it's sitting here waiting until loaded. And you have a train that just dropped off waste, and it's going this way. Isn't it going to have to... Chill, okay? We're not done. We're not done. So there's two different things that are going to happen with this track, right? This track, I am debating on whether I want to go a tunnel or whether I want to do a bridge. I'm leaning towards tunnel because tunnel life, and because I'm a big fan of tunnels, I'm thinking about doing that. We have a lot of space underground, and I have a lot of bricks, so I'd rather spend the bricks than the steel. That's the trade-off. You spend a lot of bricks or spend a lot of steel. I think I'm going to spend a lot of bricks instead, so probably going to go and do a tunnel. So what we're probably going to do with this one is we're going to send this around, okay? So you're going to just go around like this, these four, right? These four tracks. And you can go out this way, and then you will eventually merge onto this track too. So I'm thinking we're just going to maybe send this all the way around. There should be enough room for all of these, but it doesn't look like there is. That's sad. All right, we'll go ahead and have it merged there then. Yeah, it needs to merge further up. Yeah, just a little further up though. Let's get this out of here, and then you're gonna go up like this, and then merge over like so. Okie dokie. That'll take care of that track. And then this rail goes around. This is the bypass track that everyone loves and praises and says, oh, hey, you need this. Don't forget this. Yes, I know. I'm aware. Put this over around. You're gonna go around this. All right, and you're gonna meet up right here. That's where you go. Boom. All right, it sticks out a little bit. Get the merger. Everything's solid. There's the rail system for this, right? We got an input into here. We can bring, you know, trains and vehicles and stuff from the border over here. The final step is to let things move through from other places. Let's say we want to bring NATO stuff into here to scrap it. How are we going to do that? Well, got a long way to go to the NATO border. A lot of people have said we should connect to the NATO border. Let me show you what that entails. All the way out here, and then there's this big river in my way, so I have to make a big bridge in order to get to the first city. The closest city is this one, which is over top of a rather lengthy, like, pretty good thickness river here. And I don't want to build a bridge yet, and I'm not gonna, terraform to do it, because then I don't have a river anymore for exporting, and I don't want to do that. It's not realistic. Oh, I have a new plan for this is over here too. I think I remember in the last video, or maybe 2 videos ago or something, I was talking about the differences between these two water places. I think I have a different plan for our sewage and stuff, and I think I'm actually going to use the processing plant. Once we're making our own chemicals, of course. But I think I'm actually going to use waste processing, and I might do it over here, and then we can just dump the sewage right here from this whole big city, or maybe over here. But I can just dump it in this, knowing that I've already treated it to be the same quality as this water, which is about 77%. So, yeah, we're just going to try that. Did we get all this stuff done? It looks like it. So over here, I want to place some homes, right? And it's going to be this very, very compact, general home design that we already have over there. I have no shame whatsoever in just making rows and rows of houses, okay? Absolutely no shame. I want 5 in here if I can get it, which it looks like I can. Perfect. 5 houses right here. Bang. All right. And these can all reach everything, including the future metro station. Talk about that later once we have all this stuff done. Or at least once I have it finalized and I have the electricity ran and all that stuff. And I'm going to do that offline. I'm not going to bore you guys with like where I'm positioning my electrical substations and where I'm running my electrical lines to get in here and blah, 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 blah. That stuff's not that exciting, okay? So we'll do that offline. But I just wanted to give you a good view of the process involved in our new, our new scrapyard. This is going to be great. I'm really excited about this. I think we're going to make some good money, but mostly I think we're just going to be able to expand and scale waste processing in a way that we just simply can't do with that over there. The last bit, I guess, I suppose, is like, what are we going to do with all of this stuff, right? And the simple answer is all this stuff gets scrapped. So once that's operational and working and we have left this abandoned, then we just scrap all of this except for the incinerator. I'm going to keep this here. And in fact, I'm going to keep pretty much everything related to the incinerator is going to stay right where it is. The only difference is that I won't need this walking path bridge and stuff anymore, so I can break that down too. We're going to just bring in a simple cargo train station to drop off a bigger mixed waste dump. So we're going to also break this dump down and everything. We're going to redo this, retrofit it to where we can bring a train in. And then I haven't decided whether that train is coming in. I want to say it's going to come in from this side since it's pretty convenient to do. We can just send it through here and then just whip it right in there like that. Or I was planning to go that way anyway, over towards Tabuvina. And so the train track that ends up going that way is going to come off of this. This is going to split in sort of like a Y split sort of intersection. And it's going to be a tunnel. It's going to go underneath this. And then it's going to pop out over here on the other side, just because I can. Is it way more expensive than just going around? You betcha. Is it more cool? I think so. So we're going to go underneath this as a tunnel. And then once we get out of the tunnel, I can then just make, a little T intersection here, and then this train can come in and drop it off there. So there's like other ways to do it. But this is a relatively meaningless building. The only purpose this serves is to make it to where we can get rid of our waste and not have to pay for it and actually get paid for it. That's the only reason this exists. And so far it's doing almost nothing because we don't have a whole lot of... Our capacity here is way higher than what Charlabins produces. And it's going to be way, way higher than what this calls for to be working. But that's why this is for the rest of the Republic, not just Charlabins. We're going to hook up the whole rail network to get trains coming in here and dropping it off here. And that's another reason why I want a tunnel right here, so that I can have a train coming in on this side, choo-choo, under the tunnel, and then pop, hello, here it is, and it just drops off stuff on the other rail, right? It drops the stuff off on a rail that we are not using, and then it goes back from whence it came. So it'll go about like from here. I think probably F4 on this. We'll probably put it like right there, right? Maybe a little bit further, right? And then the tunnel, railway tunnel, will just come like this, go 1, 2, 3 levels down. All right, so we go 3 levels down, and then the tunnel, of course, is gonna, yeah, you know it, yep, it's gonna come around like this, and it'll pop out on this side next to the highway, and it'll merge onto the distribution track that's gonna be out this way. So we'll just put it a little bit further this way to get around that pipe, and then we lift it up, and choo-choo. Right there. Tunnel. Boom. It's cheaper than a bridge. It's 40 tons of steel. I'm pretty sure that's like 120 tons of steel for make a bridge that does that. The only trade-off is we have a lot of work days because tunnel, but we got a tunnel boring machine. That is going to cut our work days in like 200 pieces. So it's going to take 1/200th or something like that at the time. So that's very good. I'm going to go ahead and mark that in there too. Because I can. And then I guess because we have that going, I suppose it's probably time to tell the tunnel boring machine to navigate to its new home. Probably tell it to go over here. Oh, we got to see it, don't we? I think we're going to end the video by seeing this thing. Oh, man. Look at this thing. It's so cool looking, too. That's the thing, man. This thing is... It's so cool looking. Oh, they did such a good job on this. Oh, man. Look at it. Just look at it. I'm going to leave you with this. I think this is a suitable ending to our video today. Don't you think? I think this works for me. I ought to put it on this side so the names aren't in the way. There we go. See, we're thinking of how the editing goes. I'm going to go take a nap. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do appreciate you. I really do appreciate it. By the time this video posts, the first episode of this playlist has over 100,000 views. I'm just predicting that based on the trend. And I'm humbled by that. That's crazy. I hope I've retained, by the time you see this, I really do hope I've retained like 5% of you. Because retention's really difficult with Let's Plays. I mean, let's face it, people check out the first video and they're mostly checking it out to see whether or not they want to buy it, and then maybe they keep watching to kind of get tips and tricks for it. But ultimately, the reason people watch gaming videos on the internet, that was a really bad frame stutter, wasn't it? The reason people watch videos on the internet like this usually are to learn and to see how other people do things, and tutorials work way better for stuff like this. So if you guys have any ideas on tutorial videos that you would like me to produce, I would love to. My gosh, I'm gonna upgrade my CPU and my graphics card. I have a 4090 sitting on this desk over here. It's ready to go. I need to build this new PC, and we are gonna get, hopefully, No more stuttering. Hopefully no more frame problems. If you guys have any ideas for tutorials that you want me to produce, leave me a comment on that and let me know. Okay? I'm Charlie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.